Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
In the quiet lands of West Texas, tall mountains touch the sky. In this big, empty space, a special place shows humanity's wish to go to space. About 30 miles from a small town called Van Horn, Jeff Bezos made his own way to the stars. This is where Blue Origin, his rocket company, works. Here, rockets lift off and land back down, like a careful dance. The world's richest man sometimes wears a cowboy hat here. He wants to be a pioneer for space travel and a leader for humanity's future in space. Blue Origin shows a big difference in today's space age. Jeff Bezos has a huge dream: for 1 trillion people to live in space someday. He wants to move factories and heavy work off Earth to protect our planet. But in real life, Blue Origin has worked for over 20 years and has not yet sent many rockets to orbit. There have been delays and problems inside the company. A fast rival, SpaceX, has also grown very big. The main question about Blue Origin is this: is their slow way a smart plan, like the wise tortoise in the story? Or is it a problem that makes the company move too slowly to win? In the old story by Aesop, the tortoise wins because it keeps going step by step. But in the world of space, where every launch matters, being too slow can mean losing the race. Blue Origin's Latin motto says, "Gradatim ferociter." This means step by step, ferociously. It means being careful, but also trying very hard. But as SpaceX launches hundreds of rockets, Blue Origin's slow way can look like they are standing still. This story will explore Blue Origin's journey. We will see if their slow path is a smart choice, or if it has caused them to fall behind in the race to the stars. 2. A big dream. Jeff Bezos always had a big interest in space. At 5 years old, he wanted to explore space. Science fiction books filled his mind with amazing ideas about space travel. A scientist named Jared K. O'Neill inspired him. O'Neill wrote about huge cylindrical space habitats where millions could live comfortably. Bezos didn't just dream of being an astronaut, he dreamed of being an architect of space civilization. In 1982, when Bezos finished high school, he gave a memorable speech. He shared his grand vision. He talked about building hotels, amusement parks, and human colonies in orbit. His main goal was to protect Earth. He saw that people were using too many of Earth's resources. Moving industries to space, where resources are endless, would protect Earth. But in real life, Blue Origin has worked for over 20 years and has not yet sent many rockets to orbit. There have been delays and problems inside the company. A fast rival, SpaceX, has also grown very big. The main question about Blue Origin is this: is their slow way a smart plan, like the wise tortoise in the story? Or is it a problem that makes the company move too slowly to win? In the old story by Aesop, the tortoise wins because it keeps going step by step. But in the world of space, where every launch matters, being too slow can mean losing the race. Blue Origin's Latin motto says, Gradatim ferociter. This means step by step, ferociously. It means being careful, but also trying very hard. But as SpaceX launches hundreds of rockets, Blue Origin's slow way can look like they are standing still. This story will explore Blue Origin's journey. We will see if their slow path is a smart choice, or if it has caused them to fall behind in the race to the stars. 1. A big dream. This way, our planet could be preserved as a beautiful, natural paradise. To begin this grand project, Bezos secretly founded Blue Origin in September of 2000. For many years, the company operated secretly, far from the public eye. Bezos wanted to build a strong foundation first. In 2004, he purchased a vast area of land in West Texas, about 165,000 acres. This large land became the quiet testing ground and launch site for his rockets. The name Blue Origin itself holds a deep meaning for Bezos. It refers to Earth as our unique blue origin, a precious homeworld that must be safeguarded. The company also adopted a special Latin motto, Gradatim ferociter. This means step by step, ferociously, a motto Jeff Bezos created. It reflects his strong belief that in aerospace there are no shortcuts. Every step needs extreme care and strong dedication. Bezos always said that building flying vehicles means you cannot cut corners. This philosophy was very different from move fast and break things common in tech. Blue Origin chose a slow, careful way. They focused on safety and reliable rockets. Bezos knew that rushing could cause dangerous failures and risk lives. So, Blue Origin promised to test everything many times. They aimed for a lasting future in space, focusing on long-term success. 3. The slow way. Blue Origin took a very careful approach to building rockets. They moved step by step, with great focus. The company believed that when building vehicles that fly, there were no shortcuts. Every part had to be perfect, and safety was the most important thing. Their first big project was a rocket called New Shepard. This rocket was designed for suborbital flights, meaning it would go to the edge of space but not orbit Earth. It was named after Alan Shepard, the first American in space. The New Shepard system had a main rocket booster and a capsule on top for people. Passengers would go into space, feel weightlessness for a few minutes, and then return to Earth. Blue Origin put extreme focus on safety during New Shepard's development. They tested every part many times. They added extra systems in case one failed. Engineers studied every possible problem, making sure the rocket was very strong and reliable. This was a long process. They wanted to build a vehicle that was not just powerful, but also very safe for future space travelers. They worked exhaustively, checking and rechecking everything before moving forward. In 2015, Blue Origin had a major achievement. New Shepard flew successfully into space. After reaching its highest point, the rocket booster did something amazing. It landed back on the launch pad, standing straight up. This was a true breakthrough in rocket technology, because it meant rockets could be used again and again. It showed that Blue Origin's slow and steady method could bring big results. To celebrate this important success and their careful way of working, the team added a small tortoise symbol to the New Shepard capsule after each successful flight. This symbol was a reminder of their belief that slow and thorough wins the race. 4. A big rocket. After its first small rocket, Blue Origin started building a much bigger one. This rocket was called New Glenn. It was designed to fly to orbit much higher and faster than the New Shepard. New Glenn would be very tall, about 320 feet, which is like a very tall building. It could carry heavy things into space, like satellites and even parts for future space stations. Blue Origin first announced New Glenn in 2016. They hoped to launch it by 2020, but the launch date kept moving. It moved from 2020 to 2022, then to 2024, and finally to 2025. The company said they needed more time. They wanted to test every part many times to make sure it was perfect and safe. Blue Origin followed its motto, step by step, ferociously, moving slowly and carefully. During these many years of delays, another company, SpaceX, launched rockets very often. SpaceX completed hundreds of successful missions. They grew quickly and became a leader in space travel. SpaceX was fast, sometimes learning from failures. Blue Origin chose a different path, focusing on thorough testing on the ground to avoid problems in the air. This meant slower progress, but hopefully fewer mistakes. Finally, the first New Glenn rocket launched in January 2025. The rocket went into space, reached orbit, and successfully put its cargo there. This was a monumental achievement for Blue Origin, showing they could build and launch a rocket to orbit after years of work and billions of dollars spent. However, the first part of the rocket, the booster, did not complete its planned landing. It was supposed to land on a special ship in the ocean, but it failed to do so. So, the first New Glenn launch was a partial success. It showed how far Blue Origin had come, but also how much more work was still needed. The company was in a race, and its rivals were far ahead. 5. Problems inside. Blue Origin faced problems not just with rockets, but also with its people. In September 2021, a group of 21 current and former employees wrote a public letter. This letter talked about serious issues inside the company. Alexandra Abrams, a former communications head, was one of the main writers. The employees said the work environment was dehumanizing. They felt new ideas were not welcome. If someone disagreed with a decision, it was often ignored. They claimed CEO Bob Smith, who started in 2017, made many important decisions with a small group of leaders. Other experts, like engineers, were not always asked for their thoughts. Some workers even felt they were labeled as troublemakers if they spoke up. Managers were sometimes told to talk to these people. Safety was another big worry. The letter said that Blue Origin wanted to launch rockets fast. This meant that sometimes meeting deadlines became more important than safety. Employees felt pressure to ignore safety rules. One engineer said Blue Origin was lucky that nothing has happened so far. This showed a fear that the company was taking too many risks. The letter also described serious problems with how women were treated. It spoke of sexism inside Blue Origin. Women employees often felt their work was not valued as much as men's. Some male leaders were known for speaking to women in a rude way. There were even claims that one senior manager faced many complaints for treating women badly, but still got promoted. Another executive was so well known for bad behavior that new female employees were told to stay away from him. Employees also felt a strange pressure about money, even though Jeff Bezos is very rich. They were told to be careful with Jeff's money and be grateful. This made them feel that the company valued saving money over their well-being. The letter said these problems made some workers feel very sad, even having suicidal thoughts. They felt their love for space was being used in a bad place. After the letter came out, Blue Origin quickly responded. The company said that Alexandra Abrams had been fired earlier for specific reasons. They also stated they had a zero-tolerance policy for bad treatment. However, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, later said it would look into the safety concerns mentioned in the letter. These internal problems showed a different side to the company known for its slow and careful rocket building. 6. A new leader. The previous chapter showed Blue Origin faced serious problems within its company culture. Jeff Bezos, the founder, knew he had to act. He decided to make a big change to fix these deep-seated issues and move the company forward. Bezos replaced the current CEO, Bob Smith. Smith had been in charge since 2017. During his leadership, Blue Origin grew, hiring many people. However, employees had spoken out about a difficult work environment, including claims of ignored safety rules and unfair treatment. Bezos chose Dave Limp as the new leader. Limp was an experienced executive from Amazon, another one of Bezos's very successful companies. At Amazon, Limp was important in leading the device division, which developed well-known products like the Kindle and the Echo smart speaker. He was known for bringing strong results and a focused approach. Dave Limp's arrival marked a major new direction for Blue Origin. The plan was to bring Amazon's fast, customer-focused, and results-driven culture to the rocket company. Amazon is famous for moving quickly and achieving its goals. This was a clear sign that Blue Origin would no longer follow its old, very slow approach. For many years, Blue Origin had focused heavily on careful research and testing, taking things step by step ferociously, as their motto states. This patient way of building rockets had caused delays in the past. However, the speed of the space industry was changing rapidly, and Blue Origin needed to adapt quickly. This shift meant the company would now be driven more by performance and getting rockets launched on time. Bezos hoped that Limp's leadership would help solve the cultural problems that workers had described. It would also push the company to develop its rockets more quickly and efficiently. This was a critical moment, moving Blue Origin from a research-first company to one focused on faster delivery and stronger competition in the busy space race. The change aimed to make Blue Origin stronger and more competitive in the years to come, while still trying to keep its commitment to safety, which Bezos believed was essential. 7. The future in space. Jeff Bezos has a very big dream for the future of humanity. He sees a time when 1 trillion humans live in the solar system. This means many, many people, far more than Earth can hold. They would not live on the surfaces of other planets. Instead, they would live in huge homes built in space. These homes are called O'Neill cylinders, named after a scientist who first thought of them. These O'Neill cylinders would look like giant spinning tubes. Their spinning movement would create a force like gravity, letting people walk around inside just as they do on Earth. Each of these space habitats could be home to millions of people. Inside, they would have environments much like Earth, with rivers, forests, and blue skies. Imagine living in a place with its own weather, where you can grow food and enjoy nature, but it's floating in space. Bezos believes this would allow for a society with 1,000 Mozarts and 1,000 Einsteins, meaning a huge growth in human talent and discovery. Bezos believes this grand plan will help protect our planet Earth. He wants to move all heavy industry, like factories, mining, and large-scale manufacturing, into space. These activities would use materials taken from asteroids and the Moon, where resources are plentiful. This way, Earth would not be damaged by pollution or too much resource use. It would become a beautiful, preserved garden world for people to live, relax, and enjoy nature. Clean energy could also come from huge solar panels placed in space, beaming power down to Earth. This vision suggests that human prosperity does not have to harm our home planet. However, this big vision also brings many difficult questions about fairness and what is right. Some people wonder, is this future fair for everyone? Who will get to live in these amazing space homes? Will it only be for very rich people, while others stay on an increasingly crowded Earth? Others ask if we should focus on fixing problems on Earth first. We have big challenges now, like climate change, poverty, and not enough clean water for everyone. Should we spend so much money and effort on space when Earth still has so many problems? Building these massive space habitats would be incredibly hard. The engineering needed is far beyond what we have today. Also, sending so many rockets into space would create a lot of pollution. Each launch puts gases into the atmosphere, which could affect Earth's climate. Finally, there are questions about how these space communities would be governed. Who would make the rules? How would people in these new societies live together peacefully and fairly?
These are important ethical challenges that need careful thought as humanity looks to its future in space. 8. The Race to the Stars.
Chapter 8 looks back at Blue Origin's journey in the new space race. Jeff Bezos founded Blue Origin with a clear idea: to move step by step, ferociously. This meant being very careful and slow. The company's first rocket, New Shepard, showed this. It flew to the edge of space many times and landed safely. This proved that Blue Origin's focus on safety and testing was good. However, their larger rocket, New Glenn, took a long time to launch. It had many delays. This made people wonder if being slow could actually win the race. The idea of the tortoise and the hare often comes up. The tortoise is slow but steady and wins in the end. Blue Origin believes in building things for the long term, for centuries, not just a few years. They spend a lot of time testing everything to make sure it is safe. But in the space industry, moving slowly can be a problem. Other companies, like SpaceX, launch rockets very often. They learn quickly from their flights. Blue Origin's careful method means it takes longer to get new rockets flying. This can make them lose chances. Building good rockets needs more than just smart engineers. It also needs a good workplace. Blue Origin faced problems with its internal culture. Some workers said there was pressure to ignore safety rules. They also felt their ideas were not welcome. This showed that how a company works inside is very important. After these issues, Blue Origin brought in a new CEO, Dave Limp, from Amazon. He wants to bring a faster, results-focused way of working to the company. Perhaps there isn't only one right way to explore space. A fast approach can help humanity move quickly and try many new things. A slow, careful approach can help build strong, safe systems that will last. Maybe both ways are important. One can push new limits, and the other can build solid foundations. Together, they can help us reach the stars. What do you think is more important for space travel? Speed or safety?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.